Welcome to my Convo 360. I'm your host, Kenyon Healy. I am here with my brother Eric and with my main man Leon Martin. What's going on, fellas?
Man, we chilling. We good up in here.
Well, welcome to the show, My Convo 360. We are excited to be with you all for our very first episode. We have a great show lined up. Just to plug this really quick, this is not a children's show. This is a show for adults. So the content is not for children. So just an FYI. So My Convo 360 is a adult channel and show. So let's get to it. We are talking today about, do all men cheat? And we have seen a lot in the news lately, fellas, and especially with one of the brothers that had came out, and I believe his name is Derek, I believe.
Yep.
And I know the video had went viral, and I know so many people had so many things to say, good, bad, indifferent. I know the whole cancel culture thing is alive and well, and I do know that that is really amped up right now. And so I want to kind of start it off by giving a little bit of context. So I'm going to play a short clip here, just to show the audience what we're talking about, and then we will extract some thoughts. And then really dig deeper into these thoughts. And so let's play it here.
What's going on, guys? Derek Jackson here, and today I'm joined by my lovely wife, Danae, and we just wanted to address a couple of things. We understand that some of you may have already heard, maybe not, that this chapter of our marriage is one that was preceded by a marriage that I completely failed. And I would say it just started around August, maybe September of last year. But a lot has been said already about what was the cause and all that other stuff. Some of it is true, some of it is completely false. But the truth is, and I'm saying here now, is that Derek Jackson was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex, to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing. And some things that otherwise may be considered okay by some in terms of like just chatting or checking on people or being checked on by people that I've had a previous encounter with. But without my wife's knowledge of it and with us having a sexual history, all of it falls under the umbrella of inappropriate, cheating, affair, stepping out, definitely not in alignment with the vows that I took. And definitely not in alignment with the biblical standard of what it means to be faithful, which is the standard that I'm going by now. Now, I'm saying this publicly, not because I'm, married to you guys. First and foremost, I'm accountable to God. Then I have to be accountable to my wife, in which we've already had this conversation. I've already told her literally everything. I've given her basically a roll call list. If I've said hello to a woman in the last 12 years of me knowing her, she knows about it. But But now that it's been made so public, it's important that I first off let you guys know I do not stand by those actions. I don't want to encourage anybody to do that. And then secondly, I know that I cannot build a platform preaching certain things, preaching against certain things, and then in my real life live contrary to that for any amount of time or any length of time to any extent and think that I can't be held accountable. You know, the same way that I preach, you know, men and women in this situation need to face consequences of their actions, deserve to be held accountable. Guess what? Derrick Jackson's no exemption. He's not exempt from that. I'm also not a victim. Nobody made me do this. She didn't make me or push me to do it. The next person didn't make me. No friend influenced me. It don't matter how I was raised or what trauma or whatever. Look, I made decisions. I made a series of decisions that I got to account for. There's no excuse or justification. I've already made that bet and have had to lie in it. And now we're finally getting on to the other side personally in our own healing and our own marital oneness. And now this is being made public to you guys. So we're bringing that forth to you guys to let you know where we're at with that. But did you want?
Okay, so what we wanted to do is kind of give some context to what people are seeing. And so what I'm going to play now really quickly, there's two clips. After this interview aired, there was another person that had came out and they were on a blog show. And this lady was saying that these things had took place about on the 18th of March or something like that, which is pretty much right before this interview played the week prior. And so really quick, I'll play these just to get some context and then we'll dive into the content.
Probably I've never been to his house. I've never been to a house or anything. He have always came to my home. If you look in all of his videos that have uploaded, my front balcony is in the back of his video.
Does it have the white arches?
It's the white arches.
Shut up. Those are recent.
That's my home. Yes, that's my home.
I'm going to show you the second video now.
You said
Derrick was on
the 18th of March.
Last week. Yeah.
Does he talk about God with you and him being a deliverer and he's submitted to God and being saved while he's with you?
He talks about self-control. He talks about he doesn't go into like God. That's why it's so cringeworthy when I hear him saying he's supposed to be in line with God and the whatever for God and God. Because he talk like that. Like that's not him. That is something that he just picked up because usually, he's talking about investing, talking about money, he's talking about book signing and things. He has never came to me religious. This is a new Derrick.
All right, so there it is. That is the pretty much context of what's going on. So we're not going to spend our time much on him specifically. I think that this is an example of things that take place. I think we may have an echo. If you're in the comments, let us know if the echo has been resolved in that way. Our sound team can take care of it. So just let us know. But we do know that because this is viral, and I want to get you guys' thoughts about it as it relates to what we see going on with him. Is this indicative of men in general? Is this what men do?
You want to go? You want to take that, E?
You got it, bro. Go for it.
Okay, so first of all, it's kind of sad we're having this conversation to begin with because it seems like yet again the church has a black eye, right? Where we're talking about the indiscretions of another man, right? As it pertains to someone who represents Christ and so forth. As you guys can remember, we just dealt with that with Carl Lentz as a pastor, it came out that he had an affair, and there's indications that there were other affairs that went on over the years as well, but this one actually hit and went viral. It actually went out in the public. So that's speculation, but it's possible that there were issues there. Then you got Ravi Zacharias, who was kind of he was an apologist who spoke the gospel, proclaimed the gospel, and defended the faith in such a way that most people actually saw him as being ideal as a Christian man.
Big time.
Right? And so here we're having this conversation about yet another guy who's aligned to the Christian faith, so-called, and we're having to defend their actions. So I just want to highlight that point first of all before we dive in. But the question you asked is whether or not this is indicative of what men are capable of, and I don't think so. But I do think that as an audience, as people, as bystanders, normal folks, we have to understand that people who have platforms that touch millions are going to be more prone to have temptation at levels that, as regular folks, we would not necessarily involve ourselves with or even be exposed to. So I think there's a degree of grace that we should have, not defending them per se, but I'm just saying that we ought to understand that they're operating at a level we may not understand as normal folks to begin with.
So do you think that what you saw in that video is genuine? So like when you're looking at this context, we're seeing, one, he brought his wife forward, which is always a very difficult thing. And so in the context of do all men cheat, whether it's a Ravi Zacharias, which was a horrendous story that came out even to the point of rape. Now we have this brother here that is now a quote unquote relationship guru that is now writing books and doing conferences and allegedly was in the middle of a deal with TD Jakes for a book deal and different conferences, et cetera. When we're looking at the landscape, and you had mentioned, Leon, that the position in which they're in, it is indicative that they will kind of bend toward that based upon the temptations that come their way, right? Yeah. But are we saying that because the stage is bigger, that the temptation now changes? Or is the temptation the exact same?
Well, okay, to answer your first question, do you think it was genuine?
Yeah.
No.
The apology. Him and his wife sitting there,
No.
what he was doing.
I don't think it was genuine because the videos that followed.
That's true. And would you reference the video where he was talking in third person?
That one and the one
that was awkward.
Where he was talking to the lady who was with him just March 18th. And that video was done where he was like, saying he's bringing it all out, but now like it's over. It's not over. You're still doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then in the video, it even talked about how he was calling the women saying, don't talk, got a gag order on him. So clearly he wasn't finished. It's not genuine.
That's tough.
That's not genuine.
It's
so
tough. Yeah.
at the end of the day, that clears that one up. It's not genuine.
But so now what I'm curious about though, because when we're talking about cheating, right? If a man cheats, he's going to get dragged. Period.
Right.
Period. Point blank. You're going to get dragged.
Right.
Right. What I'm trying to see when I look at these things, whether it's a Ravi, whether it's a Carl Lentz, whether it's this brother here, is this what men do? Is this what a woman, no matter saved or not saved, secular, Christian, don't matter whatever, is this what women should expect from men?
Not from men, from boys.
Okay.
So I feel like boys cheat. Right?
Bars.
Yeah, boys cheat. And I could tell you, as someone who have been in situations where I had to step into my manhood, I realized there's a difference between, you see, in the society we live in today, we're told from a young age, 13, 14, by society that men, your manhood is determined by the number of women that you can actually sleep with.
Yeah, the ones you take down.
Right? Yeah. We look up to people who are the suave folk, the cats that are, bagging chicks, as you say, right? So we look up to that in society, and then we tell that same person to go be faithful. You just spent most of your life, let's say if you start from 14, you go to 28, you spent half your life bagging chicks. Right. And then we graduate to, hey, by the way, now, before you go into marriage, we're going to give you a bachelor party. You're going to smash one more time.
That's true.
And now go be faithful now, right? Right? You get to your last little bit of venom out.
But women have, what do they call them from there?
Bachelorette parties.
They have bachelorettes though.
Right.
But they're not doing that.
How do you know what they're doing? How do you know?
For the most part.
Do they have strippers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we talking about? You just said they ain't doing that. But they have strippers.
They have strippers. I'm saying they're not smashing.
How you know they not smashing?
Some probably do.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying. Okay, so
the number is greater on our side. Let's just keep it 100.
But
I don't know.
I'm just saying I do.
Okay.
Our number is greater on our side.
Okay.
But here's the interesting thing about the culture, though, right? So the culture says, my first man, what do you call them? Your first man.
Your best man.
Your best man, my bad. So his job in society, in that culture, in our society as it is, his job, and I'm sorry, ladies, this is what it is to get you your last piece of action.
Before you go to prison.
Yes.
Okay.
And so he's setting you up for that last little bit of, you know what I'm saying? Supposedly,
so prison is the marriage.
That's what they say, though, dog. That's what they're saying. Before I'm locked down.
Right.
Before I'm locked down.
So going back to your question, boys cheat, right?
Yeah.
Men understand that what marriage is in the first place. Marriage is for two people to come together and be one, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But everything in society tells you that there's no value in that.
Right.
Yeah, I see that.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's hard, but it's possible. I really think it's possible.
I think that when you're referring to that boys cheat, right? One, we're not talking about age, right? Because every age has acted a fool.
Right.
I think that the difficulty, especially for women, and I'm tough on dudes. I'm tough on both, but I do believe that men, we hold a greater responsibility. And so I don't think that a man should cop out and say, oh, like he mentioned in this video, like, for example, if it's not about my childhood, why am I mentioning my childhood?
Right.
Right.
So I'm not going to make any excuses my childhood, but I just made the excuses my childhood.
Right.
Right. So versus saying, hey, I'm not going to blame it on my upbringing, you just blame it on your upbringing.
Right.
So it's kind of like I'm blaming it inadvertently to make sure you know these things exist.
Right.
Right. And so to me, I think the boy comment is it's really a reflection of the maturity of that person, right? Their character, what they stand for, their principles. I'm curious. How can we know so much information? How can we have so much knowledge? And we have the same patterns over and over again.
Well, like Leon was saying, you got to think, most of the time, most marriages going in, there was no one giving information on how this should go. Mm-hmm. Like you said, I was out here being me, a man, conquering. Mm-hmm. So now I pick one and say I want to be with, but where's the manual to say I need to switch this off or how you approach it? But if you were taught the right way of how to conduct yourself, I'm sure it could be different. I'm not saying a man is not going to sleep with women, but it doesn't become that dog-eat-dog like where I'm going into my marriage and I'm going to continue doing it.
So when we say cheat, so let me ask this question.
Yep.
Because I don't think everybody looks at cheating the same.
Right.
Right.
So the question becomes, now let's go to the beginning before the cheating, right? Let's go to what dating is.
Okay.
Because I don't know if men and women, or even if all men or all women view dating, that process, whether it's courtship, dating, whatever it might be, the exact same. So now if we don't view it the exact same way,
right,
when do we determine the cheating or not? So what do y'all think as it relates to, what does that standard look like?
I mean, the standard is what you set in the relationship. My thing is this. You can get with a woman and say, hey, I'm exclusive. That means you're not with anyone else.
Yeah.
Or you can say,
but I'm saying, but who says that though? Like who just sits down and say, hey, we're gonna be exclusive?
Well, if you're saying we're together.
When you dated, did you sit down and say be exclusive? I didn't.
I feel like
I never said we exclusive right now.
No, I never said I was exclusive. I'm saying if it's with the one you're going to be with, you're saying we're together and nobody else is involved.
But I'm saying, is that the clear understanding? Because you can have a person say, oh, we dating, but now is dating just me and you? Is dating me dating around?
Oh, they leave a void. If you leave a void in that conversation and don't ask the question, I could easily sit here and say, oh yeah, we're in a relationship, and you just be like, oh okay, but what is my definition of relationship?
No, that's what I'm saying though, because
so,
I think sometimes the cheating definition is attached to people that have not made it clear what they are and what they are not.
Right. Yes, and this so
you see what I'm saying?
Great point. Yeah, but this is why. Okay, first of all, we're having this conversation in the middle of the context of hookup culture as it is. There is an app I can get on right now called Tinder that will allow me a certain type of relationship or a certain type of interaction with a person, right? And then you can actually within that app you could say, okay, this is what we're going to do. But then you met them like that, and you stay in that cycle. Right. But you might develop feelings or whatever, but you found them in that context. I think the most important thing you can do in this society today is when you're getting to know somebody, and I know of a couple right now, Drew and his girlfriend, you can say out of the gate what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And I think you need to, because like you said, we're having a conversation in the middle of hookup culture, and we're asking people to be faithful.
But watch this though. You mentioned the I'm going to show you it's almost like two trains going in the same direction. You have a bachelor party.
Yep.
The fiance at the time knows you're having a bachelor party. Right. She don't leave.
No. That's true.
She don't break up with you.
No.
So if you know the guy is having a bachelor party and you know what happens at this bachelor party, isn't that a signature?
Yes, it is. But okay.
I'm just saying. The door swings both ways because you're going to judge the guy, right?
Yeah.
So that's fine. But then the other happens. Then why stay? Why go into it knowing this is the culture of the person that I'm about to marry?
I mean, you got to think about a bachelor party or a bachelorette party. That's normally the thing is, okay, you have strippers, but it don't mean you're supposed to sleep with them.
I get that, but I'm saying, okay, for example, let's say they don't sleep with the person, but yet they keep that same pattern into marriage. I don't sleep with a stripper, but I still go to a strip club.
That could be a problem.
You know what I'm saying?
It can be for some.
For sure. Yeah, that's a problem.
That's a problem. But I'm saying you have some people it's not a problem for.
I get that.
So you see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying we're thinking on the part of this. That's a cultural thing. This is what we do. Like most people do. Did you have a bachelor party when you got married?
No.
Everybody don't do that.
Yeah.
I definitely did.
You
I
did?
did. And we actually
Did y'all have strippers?
see, okay, now we're talking
No.
So
Be 100. Did you have a bachelor
Let me
party?
say it this way. I was a boy when I got married.
That's what we asked you. We asked you to have a
But
bachelor
I
party.
just want to make that clear so when I give my answer, we're looking through the lens of that. But yes, going back to
just answer the question.
Yeah, I did.
Leah, we know you've been married a long time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we
Absolutely.
get it. But
yes, I did have that.
Okay.
And what you're saying is, I think it's the same reason why women stay, because we haven't got to that part of it. But women find out a lot of the times that their mate was unfaithful, right? And they stick around. And this is a common thing. I just had a conversation recently with a nurse who said she had went through it and she didn't cheat. The first time he did it, she stayed. Right. I love him. But the thing is, I think it ties back to the bachelor party, because it's like, okay, I'm living out my happily ever after. Even if it's not perfect, I found mine. And a lot of women get caught up in that, where it's like, I found this man, I love him, and their love keeps them there. I believe
sometimes ignorance keeps them there.
Sure.
Because I'm hoping that I can change him. I think that's one of the biggest problems when it comes to relationships. I know this guy is not good for me. I know I've seen his character. I know I've seen the fact that he has bad tendencies, he has bad practices, but I'm going to ignore those because watch this. I know who I am, and who I am can change him. And I think that is a trap.
It is. You trapped yourself.
But I'm saying, I think women actually believe, well, watch this. He said this, but I don't think he meant it. He said he don't want to have kids, but I think over time, I think he will want to have kids.
Right.
I hear that a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I think that we do women a disservice. See, I believe that the weight falls on the man, right?
Sure.
In the context of, if it's dating, let me make sure I'm clear what this is. Because it's easy to say, oh, we just friends. But I treat you as if we together.
Right.
But I keep you in that friend bucket so I can have the benefits of you not, being more than a friend, but not the accountability of your relationship.
Right.
And I think that's sometimes where the boy context come in at, where I want you off the market, but I'm not paying full price.
Right.
I want the discount.
Right.
So I got some change left over to go to the clearance aisle and grab some more.
Right.
I mean, but what do you think about that?
No, I agree. I mean, if you're not clear with what you're doing in the relationship, of course. But my thing is like this. I mean, I could just speak for me. Early on dating, I was a liar. So I lied to get what I wanted.
Ain't nothing changed.
No, I lied to get what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
But, some things happen. One time I'm on the phone. I'm young, I'm 21. My mother heard me on the phone having a conversation with a female, and she's like, why are you talking to that girl like that? And I'm like, I don't even remember what I was saying.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was very, what you could call it. If it wasn't about what I was doing, what you talking about ain't it.
Yeah.
I'll move on to the next. So either you get with the program or get moved.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the way to be. But she told me, she was like, you don't have to talk to them like that. Just be honest about what you're doing and what you want and let them choose.
Mm-hmm.
So me, I'm the guy that always put anything to the test. So in my relationships going forward, I said, hey, not looking for a relationship. Just want to hang out, have a good time.
But I think there's danger in that, though. Like, I think that I agree in principle. Right. I agree that you should say, hey, I just want to hang out. I want to have a good time. I think the problem is when we say to a person, woman, etc., I want to hang out, have a good time. We know that when we said that, we meant it.
Right.
I think the problem though is when we line up every woman in our life, there are several ones you told that to that you treat a little bit different.
Yeah.
A little bit more time, a little bit more conversations.
Yeah.
Because they're not the average friend.
Right.
So I think the woman picks up the vibes. It ain't communicated because I told you we just homies. Right? I'm saying? I think that's where a lot of guys, I think that's how we trap women. Yeah. I think that we go through that friend bag.
Right.
But we know I'm getting emotional support from you. I'm getting intellectual support from you. Some cats taking them down, but we just homies.
Right.
So there's no commitment. You know, we're not exclusive.
Right.
But emotionally, she's exclusive.
Right.
So now when something goes south, she look like you crazy, but I can always come back and say, I said we was just friends.
Right. I mean, that's true, but how can you be mad when I was honest? I said what it was.
But is it honest though?
It is, because I never wanted to be with you, and I told you that from the get-go.
But I'm not saying you, but what if the guy is doing exactly what you're saying, but I'm getting the emotional thing I want from you, right? The conversation, the late night talks, etc., the dates, whatever. But I know I have no intention
of
being with you. And I watch this, but I see you catching feelings though.
Now, that's the part that's tricky.
That's what I'm saying.
Because this is the thing. Even in those moments, I knew when they started catching feelings.
So what did you do when they started catching feelings?
I exited the deal.
I think that's the appropriate thing. I think that's where we get in trouble, I'm saying.
I exited the deal because I'm not going to be able to give you what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So rather than to crush you, I'm saying, you know what? I'm not going to be able to give you that. I told you that. So let me leave. But you're right. Most men just keep it.
Most ain't leaving.
Yeah, most keep it pushing.
Most are going to they're going to cultivate that.
Right.
Because I can get everything I want without the commitment.
Okay, you just touched on a thing I've been holding my breath. All right, look. So the issue is people think that they can actually engage in a relationship and have sex and keep it at sex. I think that's the biggest trap.
Once you bring smashing into anything,
right,
all bets are off.
So first of all, you're talking about emotion in the context of we're intimate, right? We're doing what married couples do, and so I'm gonna give you what a married couple will do in that regard. Like we sleeping together, but then I don't really want to be with you.
Yeah,
and I feel like, you know what, marriage is set aside for that.
Right.
And so when you're sleeping with somebody and then you're saying, okay, we're gonna keep our emotions out of it.
That's a lie.
It's an oxymoron. You can't do those things.
That's not possible.
Your emotions should be brought in with the understanding of, okay, this is real, and sex shouldn't be brought in until marriage.
Right.
And I know it's an old way of thinking.
No. I think it's the right way of thinking, but I think you're speaking only to one audience, right?
Right.
Because you're speaking to only those that will believe in the Christian faith, right?
Right.
What I think the danger in I agree in the premise. I think the danger is we put the cart before the horse.
Yes.
Right.
We say, I'm going to skip first, second, and third base. I'm going straight to the bedroom, no strings attached.
Right.
But now I don't want you to have feelings. I don't want you to have any type of expectation.
Right.
And if you do, you clingy, right? So what happens is that the man is saying one thing, hey, we friends. But we ain't stupid. We know the ones we're attracted to. We know the people that the conversation we enjoy. And what we do is that and let me put it this way. Our ego says, I'm going to keep you around. I know I'm not going to be with you.
Right.
But because I'm selfish,
Right.
I'm going to make withdrawals on you. I'm not making no deposits.
Right.
I'm going to withdraw.
Yep.
And then once your account get into the red and deficient, I'm going to call you crazy and clingy.
Right.
But I was withdrawing,
Right.
but I wasn't making deposits. And then watch this. Once she says, hey, why aren't you making deposits? You know what we say? We ain't together. We just friends.
Right.
So
Watch this. So where should the woman put that?
listen.
Hey, look,
Okay.
my thing is this. It's not, of course, that is not cool. It's not right.
No.
Because we know.
Yeah.
But, where do they put it? Because, okay, men and women are different. Like, men can actually go into that situation. Most
Yeah.
can go into that situation and feel nothing and keep moving. For most.
Until you get that one female that put something on that brother and he trying to kill everybody and burn up houses and cars.
Right.
Exactly. But I'm just saying for the most part.
Yeah.
But then women, can catch feelings if you're portraying all these things. Like you're saying, you're giving her list of things she's been waiting for in a man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're right. that's wrong. So now she started catching feelings and she's liking you, and you see it, and you just still keep it going.
Right.
But you said that, ladies, I'm gonna give you a cheat code. Are y'all ready?
Yeah, sure. I ain't no lady, but
I'm about to give ladies a cheat code for free. This is free. It ain't gonna cost you nothing.
Give it to them.
Ladies, one thing that men do very well, you may think we crazy, you may think we don't listen, but one thing men do is take mental notes and they echo what they hear you say you want and they just mirror it.
Yep.
Amen.
They just mirror it.
Absolutely.
That is a cheat code, dog.
Yeah,
because many times, because the lady wants to make sure it's known what she wants, I can just be the actor.
Yes, sir.
I can just play that role. Oh, I want a man that's charming. Guess what? Hey, Charmin is on the scene.
Absolutely.
I'm on the scene. And what happens is that many times a person comes into the relationship, and this goes back to like this Jackson guy. He said all the right stuff.
He's been saying the right
He's
stuff.
been saying the right stuff.
Yep.
And you think about it, how many women been watching these videos? Now we're about to get in the bag for a minute.
Yeah.
How many women been watching these videos, going back to their man saying, oh, you ain't doing this. Oh, you ain't doing this.
Okay.
You ain't doing this. And then that man like, who is this cat? And then all of a sudden he on the couch with his wife.
Yep. Now here, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I'm not even teasing. I'm just saying, can you
for real.
imagine being that brother and they sitting here criticizing you,
Right.
and you're looking like you listen to this dude, and he got 3 women in the back seat.
4.
My bad. He keeping me honest.
Right.
He keeping me
You got a
honest.
minivan full of females back.
Yeah. I just think that he finessed he knew that one of the ways to the heart of the woman was through the words of his mouth and their ear gate.
Ear gate.
If I can tell, watch this. If I can find a woman that tank is low in security and value,
Right.
and I just laser in where I believe she has no value.
Yep.
Watch this. She gives me her ear. That means she gives me her body.
Yep. And probably your
Pause
heart.
on it. But look, bars.
Bars. And the money.
Okay.
Literally.
So there's so much here.
It's a lot to unpack.
Okay, so first of all, the first thing you said goes back to how I felt about Derek Jackson for years now.
I didn't know who this dude was.
Yeah, no, I've been knowing about him for me.
I've seen him before, but I didn't follow him. So
I didn't have a clue.
So contextually, as someone whose wife listened to him and followed him for years, I will tell you, on site.
He want to fight.
Nah.
Hey, wait, you biased.
I
You
just knew who he
biased.
was. I knew he was. So I heard what he would say.
Right.
And if you go back and check the tape, every last video was in defense of the woman, always. Right. And he had like a following.
Like tearing down dude?
Yeah, always. Okay. He was always defending the female, always showing how trash these men were. Ladies, if you see this, then you should be doing that. And he's talking about the independence of women, and he basically pointed men out as dogs no matter what. There was not a context where dudes weren't in the wrong.
No balance.
None. Right. So I said on site when I saw that, I said he's smashing chicks. I said because number one, his audience loves what he's saying. They're predominantly women. If you go back and look at old videos in the comments, it's all these women defending this dude.
Right.
And this dude's calling out this trash. Right. Like, hey, you realize that this dude is probably a hypocrite, right? And it was like hundreds of comments in response from the women always defending him. So I said, when you have that kind of dynamic, I know he's taking advantage of it. He's using this platform for his benefit. Right. And to that end, at the same time I'm saying all that, I thought he was single. When you look back at all the content, I've never seen a woman ever. You ever see any pictures going back before this controversy? Have you seen any?
I didn't know this guy. I didn't
watch his videos.
But I'm telling you right now, he has a ton of videos, and 0 of them
let me ask you
have
this,
his wife in.
Let me ask you this. When you said that to your wife of that this dude is not who he says he is, what was the response?
She partly ignored me.
Okay, now pause. I know that. Let me tell you why, though. It don't mean your wife like this guy. I know your wife. Your wife's amazing. Shout out to your wife. Shout out to my baby.
Hey, baby.
Shout out to mine.
Hey, look, I want him to get in trouble.
Hey,
Shout out to mine.
I want him to get in trouble. Now, look.
Hey, boo.
Yeah, right. Look. Hey, baby.
I know you watching.
Right. Now, watch this, though. The reason that your wife, who's a very intelligent woman, or any other wife, for that matter, don't even make it personal for you, any wife, can say, you know what, I'm not sure. Let me tell you why. Because though you can see it because we know most of us have been it.
Yep.
Right.
They don't know until they see it.
Right.
Right.
See, you were speaking from the position of knowing who you used to be, right?
Yep.
So you were saying, wait a minute, I used to move like that. Right? But what happens is that a woman, if they don't know how a dude really, really moves, they take him at face value.
Yep.
Women have the ability, and mind you, they have the ability to nurture and heal in ways that is inconceivable to a man.
Right.
Right? Where women go wrong is they believe they are a fixer.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? He does have a little bit of problems. Oh, he have a little bit of issues, but we can work through that.
Sure.
Right? So you can watch this brother and say, wait a minute, how can a man that's talking like this be a trash bag?
Right.
Right? That's why she could watch it and you're like, wait a minute, I'm seeing signs
Right.
and this dude is trash. That's why he bent so far to trashing brothers. And it's the crazy part. He knew how to trash the brother because he was the brother.
Exactly. That's what makes it so
He
whack.
was the guy.
He was the guy. But you got to think, the reason why he was able to, because you got to think, especially let's say if you were a woman and been in bad relationships.
Yeah.
So if you haven't had anything good, what's common you think is great.
Yeah.
Pause.
Okay, me opening. Look, you got to think about it. Me opening a door.
Yeah.
Opening a door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basic.
Basic.
That's basic. Me buying you a gift is basic. Me taking you out to eat,
But it
is
shows
basic.
the deficit of what men have become, though.
Absolutely.
If I'm able just to say some stuff to you,
Right.
and it changes you like that. What I'm saying, I'm not saying that the woman is trash. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we as men have lowered the bar so low
Yep.
that a gift a person can view worthy of praise.
See, okay.
Because the gift should be a lifetime commitment.
Right.
That's the ultimate respect, right?
Right.
The ultimate respect is in the door.
Right.
Although I believe that's a great thing.
Right.
The ultimate respect is I am marrying you. Let me phrase it this way. Not even to take you off the market per se. Watch this. I'm marrying you to let you know I'm taking myself off the market for you.
Right.
Let that sink in for a second.
Right.
That's what a woman should experience versus, oh, I'm going to buy you this car, I'm going to buy you this house, I'm going to buy you these clothes. And she feel like, oh, no one's ever anything nice for me.
Right.
So they look at that as love.
Right.
But I'm saying, whose fault is that?
Okay, it's both.
There you go.
It's both because, unfortunately, women, their value of them. So, okay, men will only move in accordance with where they know they can get you at.
I agree.
Right. So we're
I agree.
dangling bait.
We snipers out here.
Right. So we're
Well, I'm
dangling
not. He
bait.
is.
Right. Definitely not that. So we're dangling bait, but we won't catch it if it ain't if it won't catch nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So the bait is only going to work if it actually targets what it's seeking out to get.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so women, the way you can counterbalance this is increase your value of yourself.
But now be practical though, right?
Okay, so like you said, not being so willing to bite just because somebody opened the door for you.
Now, then let me add a caveat. I want you to finish.
Sure.
I think, and this is where I believe that something is very difficult, right? One, there is more women than men in the world.
Sure.
Okay. Many men are in prison, died overseas in armies and militaries, et cetera, all that. Then you got all the people that are married, right? Then you now have different age groups. You have those that don't want to get married. Nowadays, you have different people that ascribe to different genders, right? So you have all these things cascading down on the woman,
Right.
okay? Then we say, hey, just wait and the man will find you. So I'm just trying to challenge the notion of the position we're putting women in, right? Is we pretty much say, wait, he will find you.
Right.
But then what happens when that woman is waiting? She's been patient. She's went to school or a trade or a job or whatever, and she's working on herself and developing. And then all of these trash bags show up.
Right.
Right. So what do we say practically to the woman that has been patient and she is literally bombarded with trash bags?
Oh,
Go ahead.
one thing real quick. Okay. I can say one thing missing when it comes to dating, right? And this just me now going forward. How many women, okay, if you don't have a father in the home, right? Or a big brother or somebody to vie for this dude when he come around. Let's check this guy out. They're just dating on their own, believing what they get in front of them.
But I'm saying sometimes I think a woman does that because it's so rare for them to see something even worth biting the bait of. That it's almost like, if I don't bite this bait, when is the next one coming? And let me make sure I'm careful. I'm not saying desperate necessarily.
Right.
I'm saying it's almost like you compare loneliness to compatibility to just companionship.
Right.
So you're saying, man, like, okay, it ain't everything that I would want, but it's not everything that I hate.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, but here's the thing. If you go into a relationship whereby your value is being established by a man, you will be tied to that man, whatever he does to you. Because now it's like, okay, he might cheat on me, but at least I got a man.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And he's been pouring into me. He gives me flowers. He covers me up, and whatever he's providing to you in that relationship, your value is being established by the man. This is why women receive these words. The reason why Brandon Jackson got away with what he did, and by the standards of these women, and they weren't seeing it, is because Derek Jackson. Yeah, my bad. The reason why it worked for so long is when I talk about Derek, I'm attacking your candy, your ear candy, right? I'm a threat to what you're receiving as good content, right? And so no one likes for someone to come after what they believe is a good thing. And women are so receptive to these things that when you stand against it, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the thing. Men, what they do is they establish value by what they start saying about a woman with low value. You start complimenting. You say things that get her attention. You're valuable, and men target women that they find low value.
It's low hanging fruit.
Low hanging fruit. To even where if they're married and they know their husband isn't necessarily doing his duty, now I can talk to her in a way I know she's not getting at home.
Right.
And now I can get in that way. Right. So what I'm saying is, going back to practicality, women, what you have to do is you have to find your vulnerabilities. You have to go to therapy a lot of times to find where your value is at. Knowing that I have a low self-esteem, that's going to be the weakness that comes through the door, and I'm going to be susceptible to a man who will know certain things about me, get to learn those things, and manipulate those things. If I can, as a woman, understand where my susceptibility is at in that, build my self-esteem, go to counseling, get therapy, find my value myself, then that means that I'm looking different, and the bait won't work when it hits the water.
I think that many times that remember that the premise of bait, it is deception.
Right.
For sure.
It is the entire premise. I think men and women, we all put the reels in the water knowing that what we show we are not all the time.
Sure.
So it's almost like, hey, you deceived me with the bait. And then on the flip side but you knew you're at a water hole.
Right.
So it's almost like I'm angry, but what if the pattern is I keep getting these trash bag guys? Then the question becomes, if I perpetually get trash bag guys, I must be going to the same type of lake.
Amen.
Yep.
You see what I'm trying to say? Yep. And so I am not defending the trash bags.
Right,
but I'm saying that I think that there is a responsibility and I always come back to the man, because woman is the gatekeeper to all of life being perpetuated for eternity, on this side of eternity. Right. Man, we're the gatekeepers of relationship and marriage, but women are the gatekeepers of children.
Right.
Yeah.
A man chooses a woman, but a woman allows you to have children. I mean,
right.
it is a world that is very balanced in that regard.
Right.
Now, let me ask this question though, and I think this one, it goes back to tradition. And this is gonna be a traditional one, but I think it needs to be discussed in this idea. We have all been taught the man pursues the woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
What happened if no man is ever pursuing you? We tell the woman, the man is the hunter.
Right.
The man is the one, he that findeth a wife, right? We take that literal to say this man about to come knock on your door and come find you. what happens if a woman is moving in life, loving God, or even if she ain't saved, if she's just a good person and she's just doing her life and working hard and raising her family, if she has one, if she's single, she's just doing her thing. What happens if no man is finding her? What do we then say to these women? Because now when they start to try to find relationship, companionship, etc., it's almost like we're telling them, you must sit there until you're found. What do you guys think about that?
Okay. I wouldn't say sit there till you're found. I mean, there's a way to make yourself be known that you're available in a sense, like to where you're not throwing yourself at men or approaching men. But I don't think it would be wrong for a woman to approach a man and just to say, you know, how you doing? But it's how you do it.
Right.
And most of the time, if it's done in a way that, okay, you're approaching me just for sex, I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But a woman approaches a man in the sense of saying, hey, how you doing? My name is so-and-so. It's just real.
I actually agree with that.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that.
You can approach a man respectfully, but not thirstily.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's all about how you do it. But I mean, most of the time when you meet women, it's on if you're somewhere, you walk in, you catch eyes and you're like, oh, okay, cool, keep it moving.
I think a lot of the time that statement works when the person's younger.
Yeah.
Oh, just wait and God's going to bring that person to you.
I wouldn't say.
But when you talk to somebody like I have that's 65, 70, 73, 75, that conversation looks completely different.
Right.
I'm just saying, it looks completely different.
Yeah. I mean,
but when you're in your
in
30s
your
and
50s,
40s, oh, you know, God got me.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But when you hit 70, 65, 60, it's a little bit different conversation. Your circles are different. Where you go is different.
That's true, but not really, though. Think about it. I know 30-year-olds or even 28-year-olds, they're like, I'm so dissatisfied with my life. At 20, I thought I'd been married, had kids. I'm like, you're 28.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, they feel like life is over because it didn't happen yet. You're not even 30 yet.
Yeah.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just
What do you do with
okay.
that one?
Yeah.
So with the advent of technology, the good news is that there are outlets.
There are
places I can go. There are applications I can log into where I can find people who are looking for what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you are into fitness and you want to find a mate, right, or a person that you want to get to know, go to the gym. I mean, there's, like-minded people find each other, right?
Right.
And so if let's say I have no outlets, I don't know anything, I don't know anywhere to go, you can go online somewhere, you can go to some kind of application and plentyoffish.com, for example, christianmingle.com.
This dude know a lot of sites.
You know what I mean? Like, there's just ways. If you're hungry for a relationship.
I'm like, why does he know this?
I know about them too. I know about them too.
Look, there's just a ton of ways to make yourself available in the market these days. There's no excuses now.
So now my thing is this. So that's not the issue then.
Right.
Because there's ways to get yourself out there. The
Sure.
issue is being able to decipher if he's good or bad or if she is good or bad.
And that's why having value before you take this one step prevents women from entering into relationships where their value is being established by their man. Because once he goes, so does my value.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm tied and hitched to a man that won't value me like he should.
Right.
And so there's always a dude. Ladies, listen, there's more of you than there are men. There are better men out there.
Yeah, there are.
And there are men who you see, we haven't even talked about the fact that there are a lot of women who like dogs.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because
Sometimes women don't want the good guy. The reality is the good guy is boring. Because I've watched plenty of women. Okay, watch this. I've watched plenty of women put the best friend who is male in the friendship category and never let him out. He's in friendship jail. Well, I'm telling you, this is what I really believe. Yeah. I think a lot of people are single because the person they should marry is their best friend.
Yikes. And they should.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the best friend, oh, no, that's like my brother. Well, he should be your husband.
Because y'all get along.
You trust them with everything. You talk about everything.
Right.
He knows all your secrets and he still loves you. That sounds like marriage to me.
It does.
It sounds like marriage to me.
Absolutely.
I think that many times, somewhere in that best friend category, I'm not saying everybody,
Right.
but I'm saying sometimes you can find a pretty decent guy.
Yeah.
Right there. And now what? Now let me go a little bit.
Okay.
I'm about to open it up.
I know what's about to happen.
I'm about to open it up. All right, here we go. Many times, I can only speak from my experience, right?
Okay.
I'm not going to make a hasty generalization. This is just my personal experience. Is very limited, small sample size, right? So give me some
respect,
give me some grace in that.
Okay.
My small sample size has told me this: many of the men that have been put in the friend zone, they're great guys.
Yeah. Okay.
But the physical package that they come in is not what they want.
Okay.
That person is looking for something that doesn't. Now, I'm not talking about the character. I'm not talking about the hidden qualities of that brother.
You're talking about the look.
I'm talking about the present on the outside, the wrapping paper, the bow. They look at that brother and say, "You a 3."
Okay. So what you're talking about is the natural side
of it
of relationships.
Not Bible, not Shinabo Hindabye. Not the leading of the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Straight up natural eyeball. They saying this dude is a 3 or a 4.
Right.
And
Yeah. Okay. So in the context of church, right? A lot of times we over spiritualize, and I'll just keep it here for a second. It's over spiritualized in this aspect of it, where the natural side is completely forgotten about because we're focused on the spiritual side.
Yeah.
But in the Bible, if we're going to talk about that for a second,
on the spiritual side,
right? On the spiritual side of it, the Bible says that the two become one flesh. That's the Bible doesn't say they become one spirit.
Yeah.
So there's a practical side of it where the attraction, it has to be there because you're flesh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to that end, to the 3.
What level of attraction matters? Because I'm saying I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I know a good deal of women. That are going to keep you in that friend zone because they've met other guys. They've seen TV. They've seen Instagram models and workout videos and posters, et cetera, and they saying, this dude, he don't look good enough for me. Yeah. But he has all the internal qualities, and sometimes they're just not chosen.
Well, I mean, because, you got to think about it. Excuse me. If the look matters. Okay, I can say
he going somewhere.
I can say, you know what? I'm going to overlook how you look and take your qualities. Like you can do that.
You can.
But the danger is of that is now that you're married, don't let a fight happen. Don't let the marriage start going.
He's going there this early
sideways. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, because now. If what you were giving me,
he going in there. Hey, you got to court us first, bro. The audience ain't ready for where you going right now.
Hey, look, okay, I'm not gonna go all the way.
No, we're gonna go there. We're gonna unpack it today.
Okay,
yeah, unpack it.
If you have an argument, I'm not feeling. My thing is because that's real marriage.
Yeah,
we're gonna have an argument. I'm not gonna like you today.
Yeah.
But now you're not giving me that thing I found attractive outside of your looks.
You hit something right there.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble.
Because what you're saying is I fell in love with you, or I chose to love you and then walk that thing down because of the hidden qualities.
Right.
But now all of a sudden your hidden qualities don't look good.
Right.
And you don't have the external quality. So now I ain't got neither quality.
I'm
tough.
Bars.
I'm dead.
You out there right now, E.
But
he out there right now.
Hey, but look. So my thing is this: you guys, like, what do you do with that though?
I think I think your wife actually just talked about the temptation being real when the eyes don't like what they see at home. And hey, bars in the comments. I agree with that though.
Yeah.
It is very difficult because the thing in which you love the most is that character. But then when that character shifts, now you're trying to find something that makes you want to come home at night.
Yeah. I mean, okay, can we go back to the question? I love where this is at.
Yeah.
But we got to address we got to be honest. We got to be honest with these dudes.
You got to be honest out here.
Yeah.
Because E already opened it up. So we can't close it.
So to the three. All right. There's a lot of cases where guys they're in single things, ministries, whatever. You got to be honest with cats. Yeah. Like, listen, if you want to put the bait in the water, let's say the bait ain't tainted, right? You're a good dude, but your teeth is crooked. Or you're scrawny beyond belief, or whatever the case is with you, or you're overweight.
I almost died. You gotta hear the show.
So what we're saying is, an eligible bachelor.
You already looking like Beetlejuice.
Yeah. So an eligible bachelor has some things together.
Okay.
Right. An eligible bachelor is the full package.
Yeah.
Right. The spiritual side is the most important side as it pertains to being in the faith. Now Now that you have that, great. Now I need to go get my teeth whitened.
I got to
get some things done on the natural too. Okay,
yeah, you need the braces
because I'm not just spiritual. I'm not just a spiritual being. I have an outward appearance.
I honestly believe that men and women are lying about their number.
Oof. Okay, he went straight to the. Come on, he went to the number.
I think we lying about our number.
Okay. I know what you're saying.
I believe we're lying, and this is why I believe we're lying. Okay. Because if the man is saying there are no beautiful, good women out there, well, chances are your number ain't right.
Right. Oof.
So if this brother's saying he an 8, but he only attracting 3s, maybe he ain't an 8.
No, you're a 3. If you're coming back with 3s,
you're between a 2 and a 4.
Yeah.
So I'm saying sometimes we by ourselves. Because watch this, man or woman, no matter who you want to say, sometimes what happens is when a person does meet the person, we like, they're a 5.
Right.
But you think you an 8.
Yeah.
Right.
So in your mind, they ain't attractive to me. But you think you look better than what you really do.
Right.
So if you really was honest and your number was honest, I'm overweight. I don't got a job. I got babies by 3 different baby mamas.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I'm a 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said two things.
I'm just trying to figure this out.
Okay.
I'm saying because at some point you got the spiritual, the natural, and you need them
baggage.
both. Yeah, and baggage, history, right? But I just believe that sometimes we're not brutally honest and say, you know what? Now look at my life. I'm probably about a 5.
So what you just added to the equation of the number, though, which is interesting, is you said the outward appearance is 1 score. The spiritual should be factored in there, but also my situation and my baggage should also. So if I'm a 10, I
totally agree
on the outside,
but my baggage might make me a 4,
and my spiritual might make me a 1.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's all
we out there right now.
So it's like my number. So women, everybody needs to take this into account.
Yeah.
Women, when you're calculating the number of the guy,
it's at least 3 categories.
You have to factor a score in based out. See, but a lot of us do this. We do the one-dimensional score.
Yeah. I do believe that you need to be with somebody you find attractive.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's relative.
And attractive is relative. Yeah. I just think that sometimes we're waiting for a number that we're not.
Yeah.
And so you might find a guy that you say, you know, but he's a decent looking brother.
Okay.
Right. But he's not the model though.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I got you.
Okay, but you got to think if the social media is showing you, let's say, the example of a dude that's not that attractive, but he has the bomb female.
Watch this.
So now, if he got it,
I want it too.
I want it too.
It's not realistic though. Well, watch this. Nobody is lining up to marry the mailman. But he making bread though.
That he should.
But wait though. No one's lined up to marry the garbage man. He making bread though.
Bread. Yeah. Shout out to Burtech.
Right?
Shout out to Burtech.
I'm saying, but he making money though.
Waste management, you in the house.
I'm saying the garbage man is making the bag.
Yeah.
But what happens is that's not glorified. Let me tell you why. The trash man is going to work making his money. Yep. And then when he gets to the crib, he's probably a good guy.
Sure. Yeah.
He's probably a good dude. Yeah. He might stink when he get there, but the shower can cure that, right?
Okay.
I don't think that, watch this, many times the good guy, it's a boring guy.
Yeah.
But there's quality there.
Right.
So sometimes we're looking for this thrill, but sometimes the dude that just goes to work, don't get into too much stuff, but he gonna be faithful. He gonna be loyal. He may not be a 10 on the outside.
Right.
But you know what? He decent.
Yeah.
And
he could probably boost to a 7.5.
That's what I'm saying. He can get in the gym. He can work out. He can eat right. He can get some more knowledge. He can grow in his faith. Now he can bump that 5 to a 7 potentially.
Right.
Question. The guy that my man Jackson, right?
Derek Jackson,
right?
Jackson.
Weird. And he has a personal vendetta because his wife was watching the video. No, you're biased, bro.
Listen,
it's okay though.
No.
Yeah.
I said I had it in with him.
Hey, Derek, don't look, man. I pray for you and your family.
Absolutely.
Don't do that.
Hey, no, I'm not saying you dissing.
No, we ain't doing that.
No,
we ain't doing that.
No, hold on.
We ain't doing that.
Hey, I'm not talking about you attacking him.
No,
It's like you're attacking him. No, I'm being real. Like,
yeah.
I pray for him and his family.
Oh, absolutely.
We all have. Like, This is a bad thing.
Absolutely.
I don't wish bad on anybody.
No,
but he
no.
just got himself caught up in something he shouldn't have.
Sure.
Yeah,
But-
it ain't even caught up. It's a choice.
So
Yeah,
here's where I
a
changed.
choice, yeah.
Here's where I changed position. So I went from having that feeling about it to now seeing what it is and the backlash. Yeah. See, people love to tap. They like to latch on, right? So once we find a controversy, we want to throw you away.
Yeah.
So I find myself in the exact opposite boat with Derek now, where it's like, okay, now that this is out. My prayer is genuinely out for him. I'm hoping for the best for him right now. But I'm saying when everybody was rooting for the situation, I'm saying it ain't what we see. It ain't what you think.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah, I just knew it was coming. I just didn't, and I didn't like the.
You
deception.
had more evidence than we did. Sure. So let me ask y'all this: Why do you think that a man sometimes will choose to cheat versus just leave? Why not just say, you know what, this isn't working out? And I'm already in my mind or heart, etc. I'm already backing up. I'm already pulling away. I'm sure she can feel the distance in some way, shape, or form. It may not be crystal clear, but there are some signs that are probably there. Why not just give her the honor of saying, you know what, this isn't going to work out, and we're going to go ahead and just go separate ways? Why not that road?
Depending on how many zeros you got, I don't want the bag to split, but that's another, I don't
In the
want.
comments, it says cheaper to keep her.
I just said,
Wow. Well, yeah,
hey, depending on how much money you got, you don't want to split.
that prenup may not be in order. You know what? But look, here's the.
But we're talking, we're talking about just average man.
I'm just saying the average dude. I'm saying if you know that you're already creating distance, you know in your heart already. I'll give you my opinion, and my opinion isn't the corner of the market. It's just one of many.
Right.
I think that sometimes that when you weigh the cost analysis, that like this gentleman, he's looking at, I'm doing books, I'm on all these videos, I'm on these YouTubes, I'm doing all these things. And mind you, they're both professing to be Christians, right?
Right.
From my understanding, the wife, she a Christian. She's saved.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, she loving God out here.
Yeah.
So by that being the context, if I leave, now this is a deep one. If I leave as a Christian man, which he is, whatever's going on with that, but I think that there's a fear of the fact that I can lose everything I've built because the circle that I run with, it will not allow me to make this choice without certain consequences. And I think sometimes the consequence of leaving, they view it as, if I don't get caught, then that consequence could be bad only if I'm found out.
Right?
Yeah, most definitely.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that kind of plays into the idea of, I'm willing to play Russian roulette with your heart.
Right.
And that's what's devastating about seeing his wife sitting there.
Yeah.
I think it's devastating that she has to sit there and hear these words like this: mistake. That's not a mistake, bro.
Right.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, but I agree. It's a choice. And my thing is like I said, we talked about the video. There's no way if I'm really coming out to get this aired out, I got my wife on there, number one.
Right.
She don't need, it's about me. It ain't about her.
Would you have your wife on there?
In that context, I see. Okay. Only if I'm ready. One of my premises on this whole thing is, I think they're just being in the public light too much. Right. This is too close. This is too close to the damage to where we're over here addressing the public when we haven't addressed this thing privately and know what
In
the truth.
In truth, full disclosure.
Right. So in my estimation, they're doing too much because they're in this situation and they're out public. That this is the worst place to be when you're trying to work on your marriage and working on through the hurt of this whole situation. Right.
Yeah.
So would I have my wife out there? I probably wouldn't. I would probably come out by myself.
I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
I think well, no, what I mean, okay, this may sound shallow, but number one, if my wife is coming out there, her hair gonna be laid.
Oof.
Her outfit gonna be fire.
You gotta make
her nails gonna be done.
Yeah.
She gonna be looking fire.
Right.
I'm not letting my wife walk out in a bonnet and an oversized sweater.
Right.
I mean, because I've already embarrassed you enough by being a trash bag. Right. Because, and I know that can sound shallow, but this is why. Because there's going to be 1 million people looking at your wife. Right. And I've already trashed you at the highest level.
Right.
I don't want to double down and present you in your worst moment. Combined with your worst look.
Right. That's a bad.
You know what I'm saying? Like And then my thing is, why ain't you looking trash bag?
Right.
Right.
Why do you have a nice looking cashmere look? I don't know if it's cashmere or not. I made that up, but I'm saying like you ain't out here with your pajamas on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying like, I just think, that's what I'm saying. I think, okay, let me put it this way. I think that his wife is genuine.
Sure.
I honestly believe that. I think his wife was deeply hurt.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think that she knew she's fighting for her life and marriage and
Right.
kids. They have children, I heard.
Yeah.
Right.
This is what I think happens. I think what happens is that we spend massive amounts of hours, days, thousands of dollars in the title of marriage. But we spend hardly any time in building the foundation that the marriage is going to be built upon.
I agree.
I agree with that
And
too.
I think that's what we're seeing. I think that what we're looking at is a woman that went into it believing that what you say is a reflection of your root structure.
Right.
See, I think what happens is, and I think happened with this brother, is that all the words he was talking about was all the fruit she saw. But what happened was at some point he disconnected, right?
Yeah.
And so the fruit that he had on his branches already, she saw it and said, man, he has great fruit. But she couldn't see the root structure.
Yeah.
She didn't know the roots were already rotten. So she got married or got in a relationship under the guise of, I see the fruit.
Right.
Not knowing his roots had stopped producing a long time ago and the fruit that was on the branches hadn't fell off yet.
Right.
So then when the fruit fell off and no more fruit could be produced, we have the video.
Or perhaps the fruit was imitation fruit. It's that wax fruit.
There you go.
Right? It's fake and false.
There you go.
But here, going back to your question about whether or not, why women stay or why not just leave, right? Sometimes it's hard to see your wife or that spouse or that person go into a relationship and be valued in the way that I never valued my spouse. And go on to be happy because that person is actually treating them better than I ever would or could, right? And so I hold you hostage because I don't want to see you be happier with someone else because I didn't do what was required.
See, me, this is the caveat, I think. I think that the reason that I stay has nothing to do with her. I don't think he's staying because, and mind you, it's my genuine prayer that the dude got right. I honestly want that.
Yeah, we all
but just speaking from what I can see, which is limited, the reason I think that it was a whole bunch of hogwash is because the video that came out after that he made, at the end of the video, this brother was literally trying to sell his book 50% off.
Yeah.
He literally said, I want you guys to go buy my book. It shows the story of me and her reconciliation, 50% off, right? So to me, you are so concerned about securing the bag that you're not concerned about securing the covenant. Right. So my thing is, I need to take a break. I need to take a step back. I need to be truthful, operate in truth. Truth has a consequence.
Yes.
Right. So let me put it this way. The pain we saw in her on the video is the equal expression of his sins toward her. So it's not like we're looking at a woman that's crazy, lost her mind, because she's saying things that people can say, oh, she's crazy. Oh, she's calling her bonnet a helmet of salvation, her shirt, breastplate of righteousness, all those things. But what happens is when you're going through trauma, you are trying to survive, right? And so she's going through an emotional roller coaster, a literal emotional disaster, right? And she's doing it in real time and in front of the entire world. That's why I think that you guys are probably more so on the right side of, I'm not going to put her through that because I've already put her through enough.
Right.
And I think that, let me ask you this. I want you guys both to speak to it. I think it boils down to a couple things. Is the grass greener? Or it's three things. Number one, and I'll repeat it if y'all want me to. Is it that the grass was greener for him? Is it that he wasn't watering his own grass? Or was it that he saw other grass that could have been artificial to leave your own to go get it?
Okay.
Is the grass greener, watered, artificial?
It's definitely artificial because you can't tell me that a woman, because her body is a certain type, is a better situation for me than what I've been building my foundation or my life around. So first of all, they've been building a life in marriage together under a covenant under God, right? Supposedly. They have children together, and they've been married for 14 plus years.
No. They got married in 2018.
Oh, okay. So about 3.
But they had kids before. I don't know how long they were together.
So
before
whatever.
that.
So you're in this marriage, and you're going to tell me that a female that you look at these women that he's cheating with, you could make it clear
They
that
look like Instagram models.
right. You're going to tell me that that's better for me than the woman that I committed my life to?
See, I think that there's a little. I think there's a real.
Oh, I mean,
look,
if we keep it 100, I mean, just looking at the story, it was not about grass being greener on the other side.
No.
There's a such thing as I want my cake
and eat it too.
Yeah.
I'm never leaving her.
Right.
But I'm going to definitely get it in with these females over here for as long as I can.
So you're saying pride lets me say I can have both.
I can have both. He wasn't like I'm choosing between the two.
Because what happens is that if I can go to the Instagram model and I can go and bag her, I don't got to water that.
No.
See, I think this, and let's pause here for a second. I think one of the misconceptions that men have is that I'm just going to use this analogy. I'm not calling women grass. I'm just going to use the grass analogy just to bring it home.
Right.
Sure.
I think a lot of times a man rather, wants green grass, but they don't want to do what it takes to cultivate that grass to make it green.
That's
right.
Yep.
Then this is the key. There are many types of grass, and many of them are still green.
Right.
Yeah.
See, sometimes a man will make a dumb choice because I can look at green grass all around me. I can go see your wife and say, oh, man, your wife is dope. Oh, man, your wife is dope. But I don't know what kind of watering you've been doing.
Right.
I don't know what kind of weeds you pulled out. Right. I don't know what kind of fertilizer you put down. Right. So sometimes a dude is in their relationship and they're not watering, they're not fertilizing, they're not pulling the weeds out, they're not cutting the grass. And then they leave a house and see manicured lawns and say, oh, man, she manicured, not knowing that brother put that work in, though.
Right.
So sometimes I think that a man will look at other lawns and never self-assess and say, when's the last time I opened up my garage, got my lawnmower out, got out there in the heat, sweating,
Right.
and cut that grass, got done, edged that grass,
Right.
then weed whipped that grass, then cleaned up the mess behind, and then put it out to the curb so that the trash man can come get it. And then I go back and sit on my lawn chair and observe the beauty of what I invested in.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of the woman.
Right.
I believe that most women have so much. Women are like the coal.
Sure.
You put the pressure in the heat. There's a diamond inside.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go through the process of bringing that diamond out of you. So what do? I blame you. Oh, you ain't keeping your body up the same way.
Right.
Oh, wait, though. But she had 2 kids, right?
Right.
Yep.
So average weight gain is what, 20 to 40 pounds a child.
Yeah.
So she went through the process of bringing you 2 kids into the earth. Her body don't look the same. Now she got some stretch marks, whatever the case may be. And now you want to look at the Instagram model who had 18 surgeries and say, you know what? You ain't the woman you used to be.
Right.
I'm saying, like, so to me, I think that we have unrealistic expectations. This is to me, and I'm going to let y'all respond to this. I think this is the way it should be. That woman that had those children for you, talking about my brother, he should be laying his life down for the sacrifices of the things in which she has given.
Right.
Sure.
So what happens if I wake up every day and he's living his life to the glory of God and his wife, right? So now you can see a woman that got the body you want,
Right.
but then you put that away and say, you know what? But this here is my commitment.
Yeah.
I think there's several levels. I think there's in love. I think there's love. Like, say if you're like going down, right? I think the top is like in love. Then
Right.
you have like love. Then you have like commitment. Then you have like covenant. I think many times in relationships, we think we're supposed to always be in love. Like, I'm in love with you. And if I don't feel like I'm in love with you, then there's something wrong with our relationship.
Absolutely.
Sometimes life just brings you from in love to love.
Right.
Sometimes some junk can happen where you go from love to commitment.
Right.
You're like, you know what? I don't even love you, but I'm committed. Like,
Hey.
like you know, I'm like, I would
Hey.
stab you, but I go to jail.
Hey,
You know what I'm trying to say?
He teach you right.
You're right. So then I'm at love. But then sometimes crisis, like what she went through is a crisis.
Right.
Now she may be beyond love to where I'm just at the covenant level.
Right.
I'm here only because I'm honoring God.
That's it.
But I don't think anybody's breaking down the idea that in each of these levels, the emotion is not what we're assessing.
Right.
No.
We're saying in love is great. Love is great. Commitment is great. But bottom line, basic boy, no matter what happens, I'm not going to break that covenant with you, though.
Right.
I'm going to honor it until I can build back them levels.
Right.
That's cutting the grass.
Right. But, okay, what you just explained, where is that taught at?
I don't know.
Right.
Hey, but no, seriously.
Hey, he got me. Hey, I thought about it. I said, I don't know.
No, my thing is like, you've taught it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, but on a mass scale, when I was growing up, brother, I ain't never heard that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was just like, oh, you supposed to be in love. Like, but
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
and my thing is this, the whole marriage vow thing.
Yeah.
My thing is this. You're making a covenant between you, that woman, and God.
Yeah.
And my thing is this. For some reason, you feel like when they say for better and worse, the worst don't exist.
Right.
The worst will never happen.
Yeah.
But my thing is this. You made the vow before God and said I was going to be with her or him for better or worse.
That's true.
Hey, it's funny because one of my boys was telling me he was at a wedding, a real life wedding, bro. And when they got to that part before he said it, the woman was like, no, not for worse.
Oh yeah, he tripped. Yeah,
No, you see what I'm saying? But my thing is this though. That was a sign he already know it can't be no worse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen?
She told you already.
Yeah.
But my thing
I'm
is
not
this,
down for the worst.
I respect her honesty though.
Oh, I respect the honesty.
Not saying it's cool.
I think he should have known that before he got to the altar.
Yeah.
No, he should have, but what I'm
It
saying
should not
is this
be
though.
news.
But my thing is
It shouldn't be new at the altar.
It shouldn't be
Right,
news,
yeah.
but think about it. Everybody says okay.
I respect it though.
But
I
in their
respect
mind, they
it,
like, no, not worse. They just said in their head. She verbally said worse.
I honestly do believe that, and this is my personal opinion, I believe that every man and woman, when they get married, they should, now mind you, realistically speaking, what I'm about to say can't be 100% the case because we all get older. So if I'm 90, I'm not going to look the same if I'm like 25, right? So just keep that in mind.
Right.
I do believe, though, the way that my wife found me, it's my goal to make sure that I'm staying as close to that as possible. Right?
As humanly possible, yes.
As humanly possible.
Yes.
And what I try to do is I ask my wife, what is it that you like? Right?
Mm-hmm.
See, now this may rub some folk the wrong way.
Okay.
But if you have a relationship with somebody that is in truth and you guys can have these conversations, I recommend this. Ask your spouse, and I want you guys to comment on this and tell me what you guys think. I believe that everybody has certain cravings that are built into them, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think a person wakes up just on their own and say, I like guys that are 6'1". My craving is a muscle man. I don't think they just woke up and said, I'm going to choose to crave this today.
Right.
I think that they just saw things and said, oh, I prefer that over that. They have preferences. Like, oh, I prefer shorter, taller, bigger, da-da-da. And I think that everyone has natural cravings that are just built in for whatever reason.
Right.
Sure.
I don't think that we actually communicate clearly on what those cravings are to the person and who we're committing ourselves to. So let's say for my wife, I know how my wife wants my body to look. I know how she wants my, well, I don't have any hair, but I know how she wants my facial hair to be.
Right.
Right. I know what she finds attractive as it relates to how I'm carrying myself, what I do. I know what she doesn't like me to wear. Right. I know what she's okay with me wearing. Like, I'm fully aware of what makes her say, I want to jump on him, right?
Right.
I don't know if people are having the conversation both directions saying, hey, my wife, I want her to look like this. Mm-hmm. I would like you to do X, Y, and Z. And we try to our best, if possible, to be as close to that ideal as I can so that both people are enjoying that aspect of the physical nature of the relationship. What do you guys think? Do you think that's overreaching? Do you think that's not realistic?
Okay, this is what I think. I think that what you're saying is the maintenance of the standard.
The maintenance.
Right? This is the maintenance of the standard. And a lot of times we find ourselves in relationships with longevity. This happens a lot of times with relationship for longevity. Once you've been in marriage for a long time, you start letting things slide and slip, right?
Yeah.
The things that you got her with, the tools that you had when you got her, you don't necessarily use to keep her.
Yeesh.
Right. And so that goes. And so let's say if you were that eligible bachelor we talked about, where outwardly you were in shape, you know what I'm saying? You had certain manicurisms and things that you did. You kept a fresh haircut, for example. Right. These are the things we tend to let slip over the time. Right. But there's always going to be men that smell good, manicured, do what they do. right? Speak in kind ways. These are the things that we oftentimes stop doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So what needs to happen is, yes, you need to have a conversation where you're talking about the standard and remembering what it took to get your wife in the first place and keep those things going. Absolutely. We need to talk about those things in our marriage and let each other know what we're looking for. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty much the things in which you do to get the person, you maintain those because you did those things in truth.
Yep.
Right.
See, I think sometimes that we're doing what is required in order to capture the relationship. We're not doing what is required to maintain and grow it. And this is what I honestly believe. What it required to acquire the relationship is not what is needed to maintain and grow the relationship.
No.
I think what you did at the beginning, that is the foundational things that we laid. And then we must build upon those because we're always changing.
Right.
We're growing, expanding, etc.
So I'm gonna answer that too. Like, so my thing is this: I think sometimes as men, you can want to hold on to something because you think it looks sweet. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the thing. Like we were saying about maintaining yourself and keeping yourself up. So if your wife met you and you look good, I'm not gonna use the body part
because some brothers fall off.
Yeah, they do.
Yikes! Oh man!
Some dudes fall off.
They fall way
and then
off.
have the audacity to talk about the woman. I'm like, what?
I seen it in a
Mr.
sermon.
Beer belly.
No,
Are you
I
serious?
seen it in a sermon where a dude said he told his wife, and I'm gonna let you speak.
Okay,
I just want to address this. I seen it in a sermon from the pulpit
Oh,
where the
God.
dude said his wife better have. He has a divorce number on as far as her weight. So if she meets a certain weight, she knows that that's grounds for divorce.
Wow.
But he himself is slobby as can be.
I can't.
He just got fired from the church because of the things he said. We might
Amen.
link that. But we might have to talk about it. Yeah, that's going to be a topic. But yeah,
I'm glad he got fired.
the hypocrisy of men is one of the things we see most commonly.
Right. So you want to look how you want to look, and she be fine all the time. But
Absolutely.
That's
I'm
why I
saying,
think
like,
we lying about our number, bro.
right, it's
Yeah.
compromise though. Okay, if my wife is like, okay, you met me with a beard, and she's like, babe, I want you to cut the beard off.
Yeah.
I'm cutting it.
I'm
Yeah,
not cutting it.
I'm cutting it.
Look, I'm cutting it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
not
cutting it.
that deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my thing is,
I'm
we
going
make everything deep.
I'm going to do what she wants because that's what she wants.
Right.
Because my thing is this.
Yeah, but
we talk
think
about
about
the
it. Yeah.
maturing in the relationship.
Absolutely.
I want a different look. Or what? Oh,
Yep.
me shaving my beard gives me the look you want.
I'm cutting it.
gotta
Let me
do
tell
it.
you why though. Because she just told you the truth.
Right.
See, I think we don't really listen to it though. If she says this is what I like, what she's telling you is this is what I'm attracted to. So we got that pride. Well, you met me this way. This is how I like the blah, blah, blah. No, she just told you she likes the goatee. She wants you 10 pounds lighter. Oh, babe, you know what? I really like you at this weight. What she told you was, this is what I find attractive.
Right.
But that pride, you ain't about to tell me what to do. No, what she told you was, I'm trying to keep my eyes on you.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So this is the thing. Okay. Men love. Okay. So here's the thing about that. Men love trophies.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you look at hunters, for
And my,
example.
and my wife is
Hey,
bad.
women do too. Let's
Yeah,
don't
no.
get
But I'm
twisted.
just saying specifically. There's a reason why you see men and they got deer heads on their wall.
Oh, for sure.
Because what they're saying is,
I
okay,
conquered
listen,
that.
I conquered this thing. I baited. I used my little tools. I shot, killed, and put the trophy up.
Yeah.
But I may not ever dust that deer
Ever.
head over there.
Yeah.
So we don't really value. A lot of times, men don't value the trophy. Once we got it, we put it on the wall and it gets dusty. That goes back to what you were saying with the lawn care.
Yeah.
Taking care of and edifying and watering our lawn.
Absolutely.
The reason why we don't is we love trophies, but once we kill them and cut the head off, it goes on the shelf.
It's time for a new one.
Yeah. I want to use this word. We get comfortable.
Absolutely.
Watch this. I no longer watch. Oh, I got it. Here we go. Once I got the deer hair in the wall, there's no more competition I'm fighting against. So I'm not hunting no more. Right. But I think that the marriage, not in the sense of hunt to kill, but it's a hunt to gather.
Yeah.
I think it should be a race every single morning to love her in a way in which expresses the most love, compassion, intimacy. That because put it this way, I should live every day as though it's her last and love her in that context.
Yeah.
Right.
That way, her last day, which could be any day, was her greatest day being loved by me.
Right.
But I'm saying, but why can't we do that? Why are we so selfish that I cannot commit to say the next 24 hours, I'm going to love you so well that if you did pass today, it was like heaven on earth.
You want that, E? Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I'm just saying.
Walk that down.
Watch this. How does it hurt the man to do that?
Hey, look, this the thing. It doesn't hurt the man to do that, but once again, it goes back to what you know how to do.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
My thing is this: I didn't know how to water no flower, bruh.
Got it.
Ooh,
I didn't.
Okay.
He's talking right now, Lee.
I just knew how to pluck it.
Okay. Sorry, we probably loud right now. That's a bar. Okay.
That's a bar.
I didn't know. That's being real. I didn't know how to water the flower.
That's honest.
So I had to learn how to water the flower. So now once you learn how to water the flower, it's not a task. It's easy.
Okay.
Because I know this is what I need to do to make sure we have a good marriage.
Okay. So here it goes. I have given counsel to young men who are looking to get married, right? Bachelors who are or maybe engaged, etc. And I give them this exercise to give that exact point. It's a physical representation of what marriage is, the idea of marriage. And what I tell people who are looking to date or looking to get married, I say, go buy a flower. Just go get a flower, like an orchid or something.
And keep it alive.
And go water that thing.
Yep.
You think the thing about that exercise is it's all about the flower and you get nothing out of it.
Nothing in return.
Right? You're putting in work. And the only thing you get out of it is that the flower is alive and it's beautiful.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
And that's what really marriage is when you boil down to it. And
Or relationships.
Right. Relationships in general. There are times where the only thing you get out of it is the life of that thing.
Yeah. Right. But also, let me add is that this.
Or
is
the
that,
beauty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The thing about it in relationships is that, yes, you're watering it.
Yeah.
And for a man, I think this should be our goal. It's not that the flower gives us something.
Sure.
The accomplishment is the fact that I was faithful in watering, and my faithfulness pays off by your growth.
Yeah.
Right.
Oof.
So when I watch the flower grow and blossom and become more colorful and beautiful and all these things, that is the reward. Yeah. Watch this. That I poured into you until your potential manifested to beauty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We out there right now.
Oh, yeah.
We out there right now.
A lot of good advice here.
Yeah, because what happens is that I'm only going to water you as you water me. Now, granted, I believe the wife should, or girlfriend, whatever, we should water each other.
Right.
But I'm saying as the man, and I believe my brother and the rest of them, Ravi, whoever, I think they stop watering in truth.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think the truth element left. Right. So let me ask y'all this question.
Yeah.
Now, this one here, sorry about that.
You good.
This one here is going to be on the line.
Okay.
This one's going to be on the line.
Brace yourself, audience.
This one's going to be on the line. Now, let me ask y'all this. I have met a lot of people that when they're in the world, they got body bags everywhere.
Okay.
They are taking them down. Women taking down men, men taking down women. And they are free spirits. I mean, they are giving themselves fully, completely, fearlessly. They're doing everything under the sun. Then all of a sudden, they get married. Or they get saved. And all of a sudden, that drive, that passion, that explorational spirit, I can make that word up.
Yeah.
It's like that mug just disappears.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious as to how is it that when they're doing things in the world, they just give it everything to the streets.
Yeah.
Then once they get married, they're not giving everything to that spouse.
I can say this. Okay, in your head, you're thinking like, okay, when I was in the street, I was wilding, right? Okay, now I'm married. I can't wild like that because I did that. The old man was wilding like that.
Right.
So that can kind of cause a blocking in their head of like, I don't want to bring
So
that
let me ask you
this.
this. Were you a virgin when you got married?
No.
Okay, so let me ask this. Wait, he was like, no. He was like disgusted by my question.
No,
though. Like,
I wasn't disgusted. But my thing
Like,
is
yeah,
this.
it was a bad.
Hey,
Yeah.
my thing is this though. He's the only unicorn we know
Right.
that was a virgin when he got married.
Right.
yeah, but I have questions. right. So don't judge me. Let me ask my question. Right? Yeah. Okay, so here's my question. Okay, so now we're about to get the unfiltered part, the raw part, right?
Right.
Okay, so now that you're married, do you feel, you're a Christian brother, do you feel as though when it comes to sexually, when it comes to pleasing your wife, things of that nature, do you feel as if there is some type of blockage from how you went in the world than how you go now being married?
No, sir.
So it's kind of just, it was an easy road. Or was there like a transition? Was it like a struggle in thought? You know what I'm trying to say? Because you just mentioned like, okay, the things I did back then, I was in the world. Like,
right.
How does that translate? I'm asking.
No, it wasn't a blockage of what I did. It was just a transition into, because I was like,
this brother, hey, he got a heavy heart.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting my turn.
Hey, he got a heavy heart over here, dog.
I mean, because like I kept myself for a while before I got married.
So you were celibate for a minute.
I was celibate for a while.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a different transition. But it wasn't like I was saying I was going to keep what I was doing from that to there.
Okay.
Like,
hold on. You're going next. I'm gonna get on the I got something for you. Okay. Based upon your previous lifestyle, right? Back when you're in the world and all that kind of stuff, did you find it difficult to transition your mind from what used to be? Now, I'm not referencing, I'm not implying you're doing anything. I'm talking about getting married, all those things, right? Mm-hmm. Was there a transition in your thoughts? What I know about what I used to do, images of what I used to do. You see what I'm trying to say? As it relates to, how does that trend, like I'm asking because men may be watching and saying, you know what, man, like, I did get saved. Mm-hmm. I came out of the world. Right. I was doing a whole lot of things I know I shouldn't have been doing. Right. But now that Rolodex or that notepad or that ledger is in me. Right. In my heart, mind, thoughts, feelings, emotions, memories, sexual experiences. Right. I'm more so saying, how does a man process and walk that down when they get married, where now they're exclusive? Right. You see what I'm saying? I don't know in my lifetime of ever having a conversation ever from an elder to a younger person, like when we were growing up, on how they walk that down when they get married. Hey, this is how you think. Mm-hmm. This is how you handle the things you used to do. This is where you put that stuff, right? And so, like, does that stuff creep in where the memory is there? Or, you see what I'm trying to say?
Okay, I mean, I learned a lot of that in my singleness, though.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I learned how to control myself, control the thoughts, because that means I wasn't doing nothing.
Got it.
You get what I'm saying? So,
but a lot of men turn to pornography.
And I want to address that.
Right? I'm trying to keep it 100 because there's so many people that'll watch and they don't know how to walk these things down.
Right.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, but like, okay, that could be a thing. But then, I mean, that was a younger addiction for me. But what I'm saying is I had to walk that one down too, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think the time alone, learning who I was, how to become a better man, what I shouldn't do. I did that. I took the time to like educate myself. I got counseling, like all these different things. I said I want to be
counseling
a different.
Is very
area.
Underrated.
Absolutely,
bro.
Yeah.
So hey, look, change my life.
Okay.
His mic is hot.
Look,
his mic is hot.
I can't wait. Okay,
hey, I'll get back to what we talked. Go ahead, though.
Okay.
Go ahead, get it out.
So too much of the time, our history involves pornography.
Yeah.
A lot of guys get young. They have an exposure to pornography at a young age. A lot of times it's males who get exposed to it from the age of as early as 9, some 14, 15. Right. And too much of the time, porn teaches us what intimacy is.
Bars.
Right? So we enter into that space, and the standard of sex is being given to us in the raunchiest form.
Yeah.
And if we're engaging in sex before marriage, right, the standard of what we believe is sex is from pornography.
Yeah.
And so
which is acting.
Right. So the standard of sex and intimacy is pornography. Right. And then we're telling those people, go be, now that you've been living like this and having sex this way for all these years.
Yeah.
Okay, now go be intimate.
Yeah. And what's nuts is this. The people that watch pornography, they're finding out one is male and female issue.
Right, yeah, for sure.
What most people don't talk about is that most people, most women and men, do not orgasm at the same time.
Right.
A lot of women never ever orgasm just sexually as it relates to penetration without other stimuli in many contexts.
Right.
And so what happens in porn is that it gives the illusion that this is what should happen every single time you have sex.
Right.
So now what happens is it creates an unrealistic expectation that this is what it should look like, sound like, feel like, be like. And then you go from the movie screen to real life. And now you're holding your partner accountable to professional actors.
Absolutely.
And now she ain't enough, he ain't enough. But that's because you're watching a movie.
Right. And people don't think it's an actual movie.
There you
Not
go.
only that, but see, when you're sleeping around like that, as dudes, we're taking notes, right? We're taking notes on.
Well,
how
Leon was taking notes, everybody. That's what he just said.
What we're doing? No, what we're doing? We're saying that we make women to be these images that we are seeing on pornography, in pornography, right? And we're saying that this is what they want too.
Yeah.
Right.
So that young man who doesn't know women, right, is saying, okay, her response to pleasure is this, and this.
Yep. Right.
And so I'm trying to act out what I see in the content I'm digesting.
Right, for sure.
Right?
Yep.
But here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with pleasing your wife in that way, so long as
once she agrees.
you you have to see there's more. Okay, so generically speaking, the standard of too much of the time is pornography going into marriage.
Right.
But really what we ought to be doing in marriage is trying to figure out what our wives enjoy and asking questions.
That's conversation.
Too much of the time we just bring that generic image in
Right.
and then we think that standard is enough. But we should be dealing with our wives according to knowledge, understanding what they like and what they don't. And we do have to have these conversations about intimacy, asking real questions.
Yeah, and that's why I mentioned about the past relationship thing. That's what I was talking to you about a second ago. Is that I think, let me tell you where I think cheating comes from. And this may not be the thing, but I think it's one of the big ones. Let me tell you why. Most people are not waiting to have sex before they get married. Most are not virgins. No. Most people that get married nowadays will marry someone that is not a virgin and or has a child already. That's just reality in most cases. I believe that what happens is because we're promiscuous in nature and the culture that we are living in is promiscuous in nature. It's saying sleep what you want to sleep with. It's your body. Be free, blah, blah, blah. In essence, we're practicing adultery in our singleness.
Yeah.
We're not faithful. We're not loyal.
Right.
We're not committed. We're not literally isolated to one thing. As a result, even with that one person, we're still practicing adultery. We're literally not practicing abstaining. We're literally practicing giving into our flesh and our desires. So the question becomes, why even if you're exclusive with that person and y'all smashing before marriage and that person was not keeping themselves, why do we have the expectation that once I marry this person, that all of the things we practice for all these years are going to change overnight?
They're not.
Because we in our stories we read from a child the way that these romance stories end, and they lived happily ever after. Too many people are trying to live a happily ever after, and no one gets the details of what that looks like.
The storyline.
Right? What does happily ever after look like? We don't know because it ends with those words.
Yep.
Right. And so we think that crossing into marriage is the beginning of my happiness.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the beginning of your job.
Right.
Of work.
That's the starting line.
Of work.
Yeah, that's the starting line.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you guys this. When a person cheats, okay, let's make it personal. If your spouse cheated on you, what would you do?
Here he go.
Right. All right.
What would you do if your spouse cheated on you today? Eric.
Wow.
Yeah, please. Answer for me, too.
Oh, God. What would you do?
All right. I mean, without going too far and too deep into the my thing is this. I'm big on self-evaluation. I don't believe most of the time any two people that get together that care about each other in any type of way just say I'm going in this to cheat initially. I'm just saying if you're going into it right. I'm not speaking for the wrong. I'm speaking for just like saying I'm trying to go into this right and do the right thing.
Yeah.
So that's where I live at.
Okay.
So I live in a space of beforehand, before I got married, my friend, if your wife cheated on you, you gonna leave? Bye.
So you're saying
Quick.
you would stay?
I have to
no, be specific.
I'm about to be specific.
Okay.
I had to. I'm back walking.
Okay.
My thought process
yeah.
before I even got married.
Okay.
So I'm back walking, but now going forward, based off of my role, what I'm supposed to be doing. If my wife cheat, I'm talking about it.
So you are talking to find out what
happened, not what she did. I want to hear what made her go out and cheat.
Ooh, you want to hear that?
What made her leave?
Wow, this brother out there.
Okay.
So you're really investigating to find out if you played a part. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Because my thing is this. If I played a part, now I got to be held accountable for my part. But once again, we're talking about two.
That's maturity, bro.
Two Christian people. Yeah, look, we're talking about
hear you.
Christian people.
Yeah.
So I'm more worried about the sever she broke between her and God first.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
Because that's another down the line thing I'm more worried about than her breaking us. See, my thing is this: we make everything personal.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you feel it's not personal?
No. That's because this is the thing. If I can feel like I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
I've been a good husband. I'm doing the right thing. But sometimes we can think we're doing the right thing and we're not. So if I ran her tank empty, once again, she was supposed to cheat.
He's on that maturity bag right now.
Right.
Hey,
he's on that maturity bag, Leon.
Yeah.
Because if I ran her tank low,
yeah.
Soon as a guy came along and she
filled it up. Game over.
If I did that.
So you view it as if she cheated, the first thing I'm doing is self-assessing. To find out if I had a role to play. Not the cause, but a contributing factor. Is that what you're saying?
And then now, once we get that squared away, now we got to start looking at some history. Who is this guy? A guy you just met random, or is he from the past? Do you get what I said?
Yeah.
Now it's details on that level, because now there could be some type of...
Now, would you want to know details of what they did?
Negative, sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have to know.
I
would have to know.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Lee. I would have to know. My mind would go crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You wouldn't think about it?
My thing is this. My mind would assess what it can only assess just from a level of thinking. But if you tell me in detail, now I'm trapped with straight fact. I can't do it.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can't deal with I'm not asking, I'm not asking them random questions people want to answer, because number one, that don't matter to me in the moment.
Right.
Now, what if you do now? I believe you said you would self-assess. I believe that door swings both ways, right?
Yeah.
There has to be assessment on her side, assessment on your side. Now, what if you do your assessment and you find no one's perfect? So let's put that
right,
there,
for
right?
sure, for sure.
That'll come out wrong. Let's say you do the assessment and you don't find anything egregious on your side.
Right.
You don't find any abandonment things or anything. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be perfect, but you were doing the right things, right? Like you were doing what you should be doing. You could be better, but you were not abandoning her, neglecting her, etc.
Right.
What if that was your assessment's conclusion? Would that change whether you would stay or go?
No.
Okay. So then you would view it as
she needs to walk some things down.
Now, what if it was repeated?
Then I will have to leave.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, this
because
brother.
no, because there is
there
is no multiple. You finna keep doing it. That's now that becomes a habit and a choice.
That's a lifestyle.
A lifestyle.
That's a lifestyle
at a high level.
Now, would it bother you? Would it bother you in your head that it actually happened? Like, would you have to walk it down, or are you able just to say, oh, okay, I'll just put it over here to the side and I'm fine? Like,
I would be able to put it somewhere and deal with it where I can still be involved.
What does that mean?
Where it's not going to hinder me, like getting back into it.
How I treat you or sleeping with you?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about you, Leon?
I think context matters in this regard. I've been married now 13 years, be 14, right? And so if I was positioned in this, we've been through different things, right, in different aspects. I know that there were times that I wasn't my greatest. Right, I was, and like I said,
he was airballing.
Right. So
he was shooting his shot, but nothing was going in.
Right. So if cheating occurred, let's say in that time frame where I was a boy, right, and it would have been directly because of my innate ability to love my wife the way she needed to, right. I would have to deal with that in myself, right? Does it mean that it would be over? No. But I'd have to really take a hard look at where we are in that relationship at that point, right? Are we so fast forwarding now, where we're living our lives as best as we can. I love her with all my heart. We're putting in the work. We're watering the lawn. We're raising children.
You're cutting the grass.
Right.
Yeah.
And if somebody pops up on mine now, it's a problem. For the way you answered that question deals with, hey, did my wife cheat? And have I been a great man? And will I walk it down with her knowing that I did everything I needed to? Right. For me, with all that you said, if she cheated, I think it would be over for me. Because to me, I can't meet the standard that you need for me to meet. Right? We've been in this game way too long.
Well, yeah, yours is way long.
We got
but does
too much at
time
stake.
matter though?
Yeah.
You think so?
Because like you said, if when I was a boy and I didn't do right, that's giving grace.
Yeah.
Right?
So now,
Early on, I'm getting.
is she considered a girl or a woman? Are y'all looking at that as a category,
because,
or
no, you got to think about it. That's what I said. We don't. I think we just fly off the handle and get mad and really don't assess the background.
Right.
Because and even if she didn't cheat, let's say I cheated and she wanted to stay. What made me cheat? If she was being a great wife, did I have baggage I didn't let go of before I went into it?
Yeah.
The addiction.
See, okay,
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So we don't. That's my thing is this. Like you said, that's way too far to think because we're just so quick to throw it away.
Okay, so here's another
You know what I'm saying? Like we're so quick to
He
throw
challenging
it
you
away.
right now.
No. Okay, so when you have longevity in a relationship, or you have a history and there's been, let's say, pain from both sides.
Yeah.
And your
Your situation is different. I get what you're saying. I'm 100% with you.
I get that.
Yeah.
But what I want to make clear is this. Sometimes you've been through enough pain in a relationship.
Yeah.
Both people have dealt pain on both sides.
Absolutely.
You've walked through some things. You got some things cleared up. You cleared all the cobwebs. You watering grass now.
Right.
So now at this point where everything's out there and in the open, if we cheat now.
Oh, yeah, that's a wrap.
You feel me?
Yeah, that's a wrap.
That's different than, let's say, you walking through some things, trying to figure out, you're young in the marriage, all that stuff. Right. But yeah, if you've been living your life in accordance with to be true and trying to do this thing right, and you still cheat, that means that I'm not enough. And that's fine.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. I definitely think that if a person is to stay, I believe they must be able to stay in truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
One, everything's disclosed. But then two, I think that it has to be to where when you stay, you're not living punishing them for what they used to do.
Right.
Or for what they did.
Right.
And I think sometimes people will stay and say, hey, I'm in it, but I'm punishing you as we walk down this journey.
Right.
Right. And I think that's unfair to the covenant to say, hey, I'm all in, but I'm going to be knocking you down and reminding you how you're unworthy the entire time.
It's best for you to leave.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So for me personally, that would be a hard one to walk down.
Okay. But you got to think,
that's going to be rough for me because my mind is going to be thinking about everything that she could have done.
Yeah.
Right.
He could have done. Yeah. Then I got to sleep with you again.
Right.
So now my mind is going into all of the insecurity stuff.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if he was better than me. See, that's the honesty that we don't hear about, right?
Right. No, but I'm not saying, the thing is this, I'm not saying you won't have those thoughts. You know what I'm saying? You can have those thoughts.
Yeah.
That's just not a thought I'm having.
Oh, I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I fully understand what you're saying.
Because my thing is the only reason why I say I would give it the chance because we know people that have been cheated on.
Yeah.
The marriage was salvaged. It was like that never happened.
Yeah.
And they loved each other
Oh,
even more.
yeah. Many have made it through it.
So, but I'm not saying that's the standard for everybody to run with. Well, if you're in the faith, it's a standard you should run with to a degree.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's why I'm saying, like, we don't really care. My thing is this: when I married her, I said I love her. I really want to make sure everything's good. So if she came into it and then I didn't really walk some stuff down, I gotta see why you did it. Like, you're gonna explain to me why you did it if I was a good husband. Now, if I was a dirtbag husband, I gotta kind of eat that a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? A little. You got to.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
if you got to eat that because if I depleted her.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, what part of that do I accept, though? Even though
the lawn just wasn't manicured and kept up at all.
So
and somebody came and cut it because they said he ain't going to cut his grass.
Right.
You know, and they will come for your lawn.
Yeah.
They will come for your
So
lawn.
I'm just saying having a little accountability.
Yeah,
And
I
my thing
understand
is
what you're
that's on
saying.
both sides, from
Yeah.
the woman to the man.
Mhm.
But if I'm really trying to figure out, and you're saying you want to be here, we gotta walk it down. Like, if you want to be here, whatever you're dealing with, it has to be let go.
Yeah.
Because I'm not taking it personal like you did it to me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not a personal attack
I
on me.
understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah, I do.
here's the
Because you
thing.
got something broken in you I had nothing to do with.
Right, and this is why it's important to do premarital if you're going to
Yeah, I
get
agree.
married.
Exactly.
I totally agree.
Because here's the thing: a lot of times we share and disclose our past,
Mm-hmm.
right? We talk about this with the person we're going to get involved with, right, in marriage,
Right.
and a lot of times you have those conversations in private,
Yeah.
right? I hear your worst, you hear my worst,
Right.
and we say, okay, I can still work with that. Right. But see, the thing about that is that you're now in a situation where you're now the beneficiaries of that relationship. You're receiving something. There's a transaction involved. So, okay, by saying yes to this, I still get the person.
Yeah.
Right. So you two are now accountable to each other with that. But there needs to be somebody who knows that too, in premarital counseling, that can tell you what you're saying yes to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're saying yes to something. You're saying, okay, your past is not too much for me to deal with. But that brokenness is going to show up in a way that doesn't look like the past.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to look like a broken person in an act that they do. Right. And so we look at the act as if it's divorced from the past. It's actually the fruit of the past.
Yeah.
So we need to go to counsel, have someone really assess what we're talking about, walk that thing down, and help people understand what they're saying yes to when they embrace the past.
Yeah, I also think that many times when a person get in a relationship or get married, they're not signing up for a guarantee. They're signing up for a not sure.
Okay.
But they don't know that. A lot of times they don't
That's
know
what
that.
I'm saying.
Okay, but look,
I'm saying you're not signing up for a guarantee. You're signing up for I don't know.
See, and that's
Because
the
you don't
thing.
know what a person's going to do.
And that was why it took me so long. I'm serious. Because I'm like, okay, wait a minute.
There's no guarantees
There's no
out here.
guarantees out here.
not at
My
all.
thing is this guy only wants to invest in things there's a guarantee on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't play with stocks. Like, if it ain't a guarantee,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why it took me so long, because I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what if she don't want to be faithful? I only know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Or grow or mature, he or she, whatever it might be.
Right, yeah.
Being able to continue to invest in that.
Right.
So here's a thought I want to ask you guys, and we'll get ready to wrap up in a moment, is when we're talking about men, where does a man go, right? A man that feels these struggles, a man that has these desires, these cravings, having these thoughts, they're feeling themselves get distance from their spouse, their girlfriend, et cetera, whatever it might be. They're having these, even they're single, even having these internal struggles. Where does a man go to where he is safe, he can be transparent, he can be honest without being canceled or discontinued?
Straight accountability, mentorship at the highest level.
But do you guys believe that's actually happening?
No, most times it's not. But yeah, it's the only place where you can actually get the answers you need. And accountability should be upward. I mean, it should be, you should always be looking for someone who has more knowledge than you in the area. And a lot
More
of times,
experience.
right. A lot of times,
And that's men and women.
Right, right. So a lot of times we want partnership with people who are on our level.
Yeah.
Right. Friends, compatriots, whatever, ex-teammates, whatever. They may not have the tools, but we don't value wisdom.
Right.
Right. So we don't.
Wisdom
look for-
hurts.
Right. And so a lot of times men and women get married. They don't have accountability. They don't have wisdom. And they think that the love is enough. My emotions towards this person is enough. And they're in a transactional relationship whereby both people are saying, listen, I'm in this for as long as I get in something in return for my actions.
Yeah.
I do something, you do something.
Right.
The moment you stop doing something, I'm going to as well.
So what does the guy or woman, like it's raised to the accountability as it relates to being able to have others know what you are, know what you're going through,
Yep.
and they don't cancel you based upon the knowledge. The question becomes, why do I think people don't do it? Because they think the price of telling the truth is higher than the price of keeping it a secret,
My thing is, I put it
as it
like-
relates to people they talk to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I put it like this. Well, number one, you got to trust the person you're going to talk to. So anything, okay, the person you see today is due to the people that I let into my life to mentor or hold myself accountable to. Mm-hmm. The things I do is not because I'm so sweet and I love God at the highest level.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's a bar.
Oh, absolutely.
Because people want to sit here and fake like, oh, because I love God, I'm going to do everything great. No, accountability and wisdom kept me together.
And sometimes running helps.
And running.
Sometimes running away helps.
Running.
Flee.
Avoiding helps. Avoiding helps.
Yeah.
Avoiding helps.
And ask me how many times did I flee?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I ain't sweet.
Yeah.
Guys I would mentor, even in my singleness. How you do it? I run.
Flee from sexual immorality.
I run. Because if I don't run, I'm in trouble. So that don't make me, okay, I love God, but I run because he told me to flee.
Yeah.
I'm not Jesus.
Right.
Get up out of here. So that's what I'm saying. That's where the wisdom and accountability comes in at.
Right. But see, accountability has to be transparent both ways.
Yeah.
In a way, right? So what I mean by that is too much of the time we don't confess the worst things about us.
The truth.
Right? Our struggles with porn, if we have it, right? Our past. Even if we go and do that one thing, or where we go and cheat, or we have a moment, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or even if we look at a woman, right? Our accountability should be so transparent that you can tell even the most minute and the greatest about you. The only way you get that level of trust is if you're willing to share it back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're in that accountability place for men who have wisdom, share it. Share what you've gone through. Share what you've done in your past, and then it invites a culture of truth and honesty.
Yeah.
Because they now know that you're willing to tell your worst as well.
I agree. I just think that sometimes that when it comes to sharing the truth, most people are not positive that once I tell you the truth, the way you view me and the way you treat me will not change.
Right.
Most people that I come across, it's not that I can't tell you. Their experience says you're probably going to talk about me.
Right. Okay. Now you know
Right?
what? Right. You know what helped me though when it came to you start mentoring guys and developing relationships. You know what I did first? I shared.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of my past. I'm not finna sit here and fake to you like, oh, I'm just like, oh, I'm so in love with God. I ain't never done that.
Right.
Bruh, I wasn't saved my whole life. I came in late.
You just got saved last week.
Yeah.
You're lying.
He was at the prayer line. He was at the prayer line for sure.
I didn't grow up in church. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I didn't know how to be fake in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm genuine with my struggles because when I came in, people was telling me stuff. I'm like, that's not helping me.
Yeah.
Right.
So when it was my turn to mentor and be somebody there for somebody else, I said, you need this because you need help, bruh.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to think. We were dealing with how many youth, bro?
Yeah.
So if I come and they have a issue with porn, I struggle with it. I beat it though. My thing is this: what was the steps to beat it?
Right.
Now I can share that information.
Yeah.
Right.
So now that's what I'm talking about. But I'm sitting here like I never done it. Now I'm finna tell you how to do it.
I think a lot of times that a man, I think a lot of times what we see on these videos and what's happening is because we have guys in the role of a man,
Right.
and doesn't know what a man looks like because many of them have not been raised by a real one or taught by a real one.
Right.
So what they do is they mimic the things that are popular. Because character is not the lavish thing. Character is the consistent thing.
Right.
And so many times the real man, they're not going to see because he's too consistent to be in the limelight.
Right.
His life is very controlled. The life is it's easy to predict what's going to happen next.
Right.
And I think one of the greatest gifts that a man can give a woman, it is the gift of consistency. It is the fact that she never has to guess what your next move going to be. Right. That's a bar.
That's definitely a bar. And too rare. I mean, okay. Okay.
The breathing is what gets me.
Because this is an open-ended conversation because there are a lot of men being raised by women.
That's
so
true.
guess what? They move like women.
That's true.
So they move. A lot of guys. I know. They move out of emotion.
That was a low blow.
I know, but when you move out of emotion,
it's true though.
You're volatile.
Yeah.
There's so many men that you have to literally have a conversation with them to say, listen, you can't move out of emotion.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we all want to.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can say I'm a grown man, part of the reason why you can say that is I don't move out of emotion.
Yeah.
I take those wounds, I take those licks, and I take those hits to the face, and I'm going to keep being a soldier because that's what soldiers do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? But if you were raised by someone where you saw how the response being emotional from circumstances, you will move like that.
Yeah. And a lot of times what we're finding is that boys want the respect as though they're a man, but they move and act like a boy.
Right.
So sometimes that they're angry because I'm the man. The fact that you have to say you're the man proves you're not. Right? So what happens is many times you have these boys, you have immature people that are functioning in the office of husband as father, but they have never grown up.
Right.
So many times the complaint by a woman, now watch this, you ain't no real man. Well, you knew that when you married the boy.
But her standards were low.
That's my point. So what happens, though, is when time goes on, years go by, you expect him to become a man.
Right.
But the problem is there is no process, so watch this, to ensure he becomes that man.
Right.
Because true mentorship and discipleship, it's painful.
Yeah.
Because not only are you disclosing the worst of yourself,
Right.
you're trusting that what I give you, you will not harm me with.
Right.
And you are not only going to not harm me, you are going to do what's in my best interest, even if it adds no value to you.
Right. And it's hard to find.
And that's hard to find that.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why it's hard to find it. Because we're so accustomed to living phony. Now watch this. That even the mentors, they can't give you the real because they phony.
That's true.
Okay. So to that end, when we have the conversation about purity and pornography and all these counseling sessions we're talking about, one of the reasons why we don't talk about certain things like pornography is that many times the people giving the counsel
Are in the same
Are
problem.
caught up in it.
are caught
Watching
up in
the
it
same
themselves.
thing.
Just before that meeting, they might have been engaged in that same pornography.
Right before that sermon.
Or the secretary who booked the appointment, they're smashing. So how are they going to talk to you about accountability?
Right.
So a lot of times there's men counselors, especially in the
They're
churches.
not going to condemn the sin.
They're not. And so when they talk to you, a lot of times the counsel that gets given to the women is to just process it. That's what we're seeing with this
Pray
woman here.
about it.
Pray about it.
That's what killed me. Just pray about it.
Pray about it.
What does that mean, dog?
So look what's happening in real time. Look
What does that mean?
Look at Mrs. Jackson, right? Her response. She's taking on this full thing by herself, and it sounds to me like the counsel she's getting
Is pray about it.
is pray about it. No practicality. There's no demand for the fruit of repentance from Derek.
Yeah.
Before and then it doesn't seem like the counsel is correct where someone close enough to him to tell him get out of the limelight.
Yeah. Shut down the social media.
Everything.
Shut it down.
Somebody's benefiting by
Stop
Derek.
trying to sell books.
Somebody is in
50% off.
in the close circle who is benefiting from Derek Jackson's his platform.
Yeah.
So they won't give him the truth.
Absolutely.
And that's sad.
And
because
that's what I said. Where does a person go?
You go where you can find it, but if you're not truly seeking it, you're gonna always get the one that's gonna clap and tell you the wrong thing.
I understand.
So it's like where you go is like anybody else who has it. You seek it out, but you truly gotta want it.
I think it's hard. Okay, let me put it this way. If you've been living a lie your whole life, right? I think that we have the misconception that just because I received good information, the right information, that it translates to practical application and lifestyle perpetually. I believe we have professional hearers and professional people that can acquire knowledge.
Right.
But we have people that come to church and they're packed with members but not converts.
Right.
So nothing changes.
Right.
So these men can walk around and say all the amazing things. I'm going to love you and I'm going to honor you and I'm going to trust you and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But then if anyone ever walked down their life, watch this, they won't find them applying in any of these things. Watch this. Not when things are good.
Right.
They won't find him applying it when things are going south.
Right.
I believe the character is not revealed when life is agreeable.
Oh, no.
It is revealed when life is hard. So
Right.
I think that one of the greatest ways of application to find out, is this man real, is to see if his character holds up when things don't go his way.
Right.
When you say no, when you say, I got to cancel the date, when you say, you know what, no, you know what, tonight, not tonight, etc. When things go south, character rises up.
For sure.
Right.
Same principle as it relates to the finding someone that's a mentor. Someone that can tell you the truth
Right.
no matter what it looks like.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it goes both ways. And so I think we definitely got a lot of that out of there. And,
This is episode 1, y'all.
this is episode 1. We just getting warmed up. I want to thank all of our viewers tonight. We appreciate you guys' time. We have many more coming up. But we want to have an introduction tonight. I want to thank my man Eric, and I want to thank my man Leon, the Phenom Martin. And hey, don't forget, I want you guys to, I'm put it on the screen here. Go ahead and add our YouTube channel at MyConvo360. Add our Facebook channel at MyConvo360. Follow the Instagram at Kenyon Encourage. Also follow my man Eric at We Do Work _fitness, and follow my man Leon Martin at lion.i on Instagram. We thank you guys for your time. We enjoyed tonight. More to come. Please share this video. Go like the pages, share the pages, go subscribe to the YouTube. Let everybody know that My Convo 360 is here and we're here to stay. Take care and good night.
Peace, y'all.
Peace out.
We left here, now we back together, but I guess that is better now, later than never. Like, what's happening? I'ma need y'all quit asking when. Me and my wife gonna have some kids. Right now we just practicing. Teacher said quit rapping, man. That gon' hurt my average. I said thank God I ain't average. Yeah, I'm a bright young man. Kill the GPA and the BPM. Look, we on. So say what you say, cause that's A with Lecrae. From the A train to the A, I'm coming in hot. I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big.
This is so
I feel like
appropriate.
Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in. Shoot that shot. Hey, why not? Hey. I'm coming in.
Wake 'em up, wake 'em up, wake 'em up, wake 'em up. See him still sleeping, so I had to shake 'em up. I kept it too real. I wasn't faking up. My real life was a headline. Your real life got a deadline. My timeline was a hashtag. Your timeline just a hate crime. Coming in hot, feeling like Pac. Back in 9-4 when he took 5 shots. Too much drive to ride your wave. Ditch my top and I'm off that lot. Black on black on black on black on black on black on black. You don't have to ball a rap to get them racks on racks. Uber poolers trying to catch my vibe and find my way. Yeah, I know I'm ratchet, but I'm really safe. Hot sauce dripping. Everybody wanna start dipping. First nobody wanna listen. Now everybody pay attention. Now everybody pay a fee. Even Trump gotta take a knee. When the horn blow, y'all gon' see. Make the wall fall down like yee. I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big. I feel like Pac. I shoot the shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot.